Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Grip, Rip, and Sip Live. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Sweet Velocity Boating and Power Sports, sweetvelocity.com, and Just to Getaway Travel. Book your next trip with us at justtogetaway.com, and don't forget to listen in to the end of the episode to get a special discount code from us for 20% off of AmpCaddy products. All right, today's sip of the day is Wolf of Siberia from Kings County Brewers Collective, and it looks tasty. That is good. All right, today's episode is about golf instruction. Yes, we are going to go there. We are going to get into it. And this has been spurred by a comment that was, not a comment so much as an article that was brought to Golf Channel by a forum in which it says, golf instruction has gone ultra high tech. Video, slow motion, swing analysis, better equipment, etc. Nevertheless, amateur handicaps have remained unchanged for the past 20 plus years. How could this be? This game can't be that hard. All right. And then the second part is, what do you think? Is there a conspiracy by instructors to keep the game as complicated as possible, changing positions on fundamental swing aspects like where weight should be at address in order to maintain the revenue stream tied to the golf teaching industry? Or is golf really just that hard? And despite technological advances, it remains one that is difficult to master. All right, and we're gonna jump into that. I mean, we're going in, and I got some good info, and I've talked to a lot of instructors and friends about this, and so this is gonna get pretty good, pretty crazy, really quick. All right. Okay, so as we jump into this, just put it out there. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or ruin anybody's careers with future lessons or not. So if you get butthurt, too fucking bad. All right, so who can teach lessons? Pretty much anybody. There's no standard on what is, what or who. Most people will go to a teaching professional, somebody who's an assistant pro or a head pro at a club. Somebody with some credibility and some background. Now, does this mean that they're all good players? No. So, don't be fooled in that aspect, because you don't always have to be a great player to teach, like those who can't do teach is the old saying that we go with. And so let's get into some of the, the snippets of this article. Okay. Are they creating a market? Are they trying to corner it? Are they giving certain instructions to keep people coming back for more lessons? The truth, yes and no. Okay, some people teach their own way. Other people teach somebody else's way that they were taught. Okay, so not necessarily that they're trying to keep you coming back, but at the same time, they're not going to teach you everything in that first hour or that first half hour. So that shit's not going to happen. So if you have some pipe dream of learning everything about golf in one lesson, just don't be an idiot. It's not going to happen. Okay, so yes, they're going to teach you a few things, but they are not trying to corner the market of teaching and keeping you bad at golf. Okay, the game, no, it is not that hard. If you put a little effort into it and you listen to these instructors, then yes, you can become better. You can break this chain of how they say the amateur handicaps are the same as they always been. Oh, no shit, asshole. That's because you don't practice. So, don't blame the teacher. Maybe they did teach you something that's wrong or different, but you're the one who didn't practice, okay? So if you're not out there actually practicing this shit, don't blame your teacher for you sucking. That's just you being a piece of shit and sucking. Anything learned over time. So they give you these lessons and they expect you to use that time, not the time during the lesson. They're showing you the right things to do, okay? You're paying for them to tell you the right things to do. Your job is to then take that information and apply it in practice. So, no, they are not cornering the market to bring you back. Now, some people say with all this technology that's come out, TrackMan, K-Vest, Sam Putt Lab. Like, why aren't we getting better? Why aren't we? Well, number one, that shit is expensive, okay? That's like 20 grand, okay? And so, I mean, unless you're going to buy it for your house, most notably, the pros use it, because it's their career. So they're basing that purchase as towards their career, something that's improving their game. For the golf world, yes, we use it for some instruction, but mainly, I believe that it's used for fitting. It's just a nice way to see how things are going. Smash factor, velocity, spin rate, all that shit. If you care so much about where your ball goes, I don't know, go to Top Golf and watch your little top tracer thing, if that's the shit that you want to see. This technology is great. It's great to have, but it's not going to go out to the course and practice for you. It's not going to go to the range and practice fundamentals and drills for you. So we can't sit here and say we were going to rely on that shit to better your game when you can't take it with you and apply it as going to the course or going to the range. So I don't believe that this technology has played too much in a factor to handicaps staying the same or going up or whatever it is that people think is going on. Okay, and so I spoke to a buddy of mine. He's an assistant pro at Firewheel in Garland, Andrew Goffney. And basically he says the same thing. The thing is that people are going on the internet, people are sending in their videos to these like video instructions. There's no one-on-one time, there's no actual physical contact, motioning with the club, showing correct path. Everything's done by video, which is kind of sucking the life out of the lessons in turn, which is creating people to curse golf instruction in general and think that it's stupid shit. But I agree with him that there needs to be that physical element to the instruction, that one-on-one. I can see, I can do, and I think that's what helps build golf instruction. And a part of that is absolutely right. But for you or those of you who are trying to get into the golf game and you're thinking about taking lessons, it can be a little intimidating because some of these assholes are out to get your money. And no offense to whoever takes this the wrong way, but I've spoken to many head professionals and assistant head professionals, and there's always these that 1% or 10% that is ruining that by being shitty golfers and giving shitty lessons, because that's what they do. And don't be fooled. Just because somebody's an assistant pro doesn't mean that they're great at golf or they know the game. Some people squeeze through the cracks and end up being golf instructors, and maybe they're not PGA professionals or head pro somewhere, but I've been to many driving ranges where I've seen people giving private lessons, and they're just absolute garbage. So don't be fooled by these pieces of shit out there. I mean, I've seen tons of these, and that rolls into just a quick story. I was at a driving range at a course in North Texas, and there was a guy giving a private lesson. Obviously, he was not probably an assistant pro, head pro, but he had this dude wearing like an arm brace and these bands around his arms. I mean, this looked way out of line for a fucking lesson. This dude just looked, and the guy laid a towel down. The guy was on his knees hitting the ball. This was all in one lesson with all this gear on, and he looked stupid as fuck. And the point is like everybody is gonna laugh at you, and people do laugh at stupid shit like that. But at the same time, people shouldn't be conned by those assholes, because there's real professionals out there. There's great professionals at clubs. I have friends that are in the program. My buddy Andrew at Firewheel, my buddy Jason at Old American, like just great guys that are out there to teach the game, and are actually trying to help people and not trying to steal your money. And so going back in reference to this article, golf is not, I don't believe it's a conspiracy. I don't believe instructors are doing these things. But I guess in everything you do, there's always that snake oil salesman that's out to ruin it for everybody else, to give a bad name to the game, and kind of ruin the stuff for the rest of us out there. And not everybody takes lessons, but if you do, good on you. If you're a YouTube listener, that's fine too. But you really can't translate it yourself if you can't see what you're doing, and setting up your own cameras or whatever. Just go out, take one lesson with a PGA professional, somebody that you can actually trust, and maybe who's actually good at the game. Do your research, do your homework. Don't get duped by some of these people. And then don't. I would say don't. I wouldn't spend $300 on a video lesson online, and no, you're not going to get. I mean, unless you have a shit ton of money, you're not going to get a lesson from Hank Haney or Butch Harmon. Like $3,000 an hour, $1,500 an hour for some of the like premier instructors in the world. Because if they were doing it for $50, everybody would be going to them. So that's why their prices are so high. Golf instruction has come a long way, and I believe that with some help of reinvigorating the industry, like maybe we can get stuff like this article turned around so that people don't think this stuff. So for you assholes out here who are ruining it for the rest of us, or ruining it for the instructors out here trying to give lessons, or trying to get people into the game, like, just know that now that it's recognized, like, people are going to research it and know that you suck at golf and that you shouldn't be teaching and you should get the hell out of the game. So that's pretty much how that goes. All right, my fellow fairway dribblers and ball droppers, that's going to do it for this episode of Grip, Rip, and Sip Live. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like us on Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget that this episode is brought to you by Sweet Velocity Boating and Power Sports, sweetvelocity.com. Just to Getaway Travel, book your next trip with us at justtogetaway.com. And that special code that we have with AmpCaddy to get you an extra 20% off is GRS20. That's right, GRS20 gets you an additional 20% off of AmpCaddy products. All right, catch you next time.